Welcome back to our channel, everybody.
As well, we have a special giveaway at the end, so stay tuned.
Today we're going to do a video about how we met. It all started way back in the day when we were in kindergarten. Was it kindergarten or preschool?
Yeah, it was kindergarten.
Kindergarten. So we were in the same kindergarten class. We even have a picture. We'll blow it up for you in just a second here. So we didn't really know each other at that time. I mean, we were just in the same class, and we probably talked. We can't remember because we were like 5 years
We
old.
were just like, oh, ew, girls are cooties, boys cooties.
Well, yeah, all the way up until high school. That's kind of how that was. But yeah, we rode the same bus, and she lived a block away from me. Literally just a block away. I could bike to her house if I wanted to. I went over her house when I was like 7 or 8 years old a few times, and the only memory I have from that is just playing in the playhouse out back, and I thought it was a good idea to grab all the bubbles that they had in these little containers and just open them all up and just start dumping them out. Well, her mom came out and saw me doing that, and she was like, what is going on here? And then I felt really bad about it, and my mom ended up finding out. I think her mom told my mom, and my mom spanked me silly, and I didn't go over her house after that.
Yeah, I'm surprised you still remember that. Have no, memory of it at all.
So I always remember her getting on the bus and her blonde bangs, and she doesn't like to talk about that, but
Obviously don't have those anymore.
Yeah.
They were not pretty.
it's like, who's that girl with blonde bangs? And sometimes we sat next to each other and we talked here and there, and we knew of each other. Even in high school, we were in the same choir together too. Well, not the same class, but she was in choir, but we would see each other when the class had like grand concerts and stuff like that. She would look at me from across the room, and I never knew that she was going to be my wife. We were kind of
thinking about that.
yeah, we weren't even thinking about it. We're a little distant.
Yeah. Well, getting to middle and high school, I remember is just hearing about you, but never actually talking to you. And then I remember we have friends of friends that talked, but we didn't talk. And then I remember this specific time in high school where we have a choir concert, and we're all getting ready, so girls are getting on their makeup by the mirror in the room, and then on the other side of the room that you were, guys were fixing their ties, fixing their hair, and it was just while I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, hey, isn't that Jack Green behind me? Wow, I didn't know he was in choir.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, he looks kind of cute, but nothing else after that. Nothing else. I was just like, yeah, whatever.
I was just, living my life in high school, and I knew of you, and if somebody brought up your name, I would know you, but we weren't like close friends or anything like that. Yep. And then we graduated high school. I graduated in 2016. She graduated in 2017, and 4 or 5 years went by. COVID happens, and all the churches shut down, and I hadn't been in worship in a long time. So I was really hungry to be in congregation and to be with people worshiping the Lord, especially young people. And how it went with COVID. Everybody was just quarantined and locked down in their homes. Nobody was doing anything, and everything was shut down. Well, my friend contacts me, and he's like, hey, Floodgate Church in Brighton, they're doing live worship, and even better, in our opinions, no masks. So I was pretty excited about that, and so I started going to Floodgate, and it was everything he cracked it up to be. And there was 30 to 40 young people, aged 18 to 28. We were all worshiping the Lord, and we were in congregation. People were praying on me, and we were reading God's Word, getting in the Bible and talking about it. And I kept going every week. I grew exponentially in my faith. And I was praying for my wife at that time. I had been praying for many, many months because I really desired my wife. Well, that's when Isabel started going back to Floodgate.
I remember my cousin Nolan, he was going to Floodgate, this church that had Friday night young adults group. So it was 7 p.m. go till 1 in the morning. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So it was just wow, there's people my age that want to worship grow in their faith, serve God. And basically when I walked in, I went with my friend Anna and my cousin Nolan. I was like sitting next to Anna, like Anna was sitting right here where you're at, and I'm sitting on this side. And you walked behind Anna and then said hi to me, and I looked behind me and I was just like, that's Jack Green. Like the same thing that I did in like high school.
The same thing 5 years ago.
Yeah, I was just
in choir.
like, oh, that's Jack Green in choir. Now I did it again in church. I'm like, he goes to church? What? He knows God? Like, he has a relationship with him? Like, who are you? That's what I was thinking. I was just like memorized by how you stepped foot in a church, because he didn't, and I didn't know that about him at all. It was just word of mouth. I didn't know or anything about him in high school, but I knew of him, and what I knew of him in high school is he didn't have a relationship with God. But it was just like amazing to see, like, oh, that's really attractive, like someone like him. I knew it was like at church now.
Yep.
And the first thing I saw too was, I looked straight at his eyes and I was like, he has green eyes.
I was compelled to talk to her. I was attracted to her. She was definitely beautiful physically, but I wasn't focused on that. I wanted to know if she knew the Lord or not. That was my first intention. At the same time, in my perspective, I wasn't going to even date any girl unless I knew she knew Jesus. That, with all due respect, I want, a believing wife. And that's... I
just felt drawn to go.
Yeah, and we met there. We like kind of reconnected there, and it was different because her and I were now believers in Jesus, and we were saved. So this was like God bringing us together, and we didn't really know it at the time, but we just started talking, and it really clicked that we're interested in being friends. The very first thing is, we saw how each other worship the Lord, and I loved her as my sister in Christ, and I was really, I liked her, but I also wanted to keep my guard up too, because I'm like, okay, does she really know the Lord? And then as I was thinking that, she invited me later that night to hear her testimony like the next week, because we were about to go home. So I said okay, and I got back in my car, and I was super excited for that next week to come. The next week came, and next thing you know, we were shooting pool together, and right after the worship, she shared her testimony with me, and I knew right then and there that I wanted her to be in my life.
When I heard his testimony, he was so bold about his relationship with God, and like, as well, a perk was having the green eyes, but mainly number one was having a relationship with God. And like the way that he talked was so attractive, and how he explained to me, yes, he's looking for a wife that loves God as well. And I was on the same board with him, because I was looking for a husband that loved God and had the same interests as me, like working out. So.
Yeah, and we started going to the gym together, and we went out to eat at one of our favorite restaurants. Just kind of flowed in, and we would be going to Floodgate for a couple of weeks, and then it got to the point where she was hosting friends at her house, and we were all hanging out playing board games and stuff. The Lord told me to ask her to be my girlfriend and to build a Christ foundation for a relationship with her. I didn't want to start conversations about movies or fall in love over, music that we both liked. I don't want to base a relationship on those worldly things. I want to talk about Jesus, and I love him, and I want to know how you love him too, and what has he done in your life, and how has he changed you. So we started talking about that and building a relationship on Jesus, and that is the best way to build a relationship with a lady or a man if you're a female. We grew exponentially in our faith together, and my heart was just in the right spot. 4 months after that, the Lord again told me to propose to her, so then I proposed to her, and we were engaged for 6 months, and we got married August 21st. So that's how we met. Okay, in order to enter our giveaway, you're going to have to follow these first 4 steps.
Will be 1 on Instagram. I'm going to leave it below. Follow at Shop Olive Eden. So below I'm going to leave her account information, and so you got to follow her. We've partnered with her and her small business. She makes homemade clay earrings. She also loves the Lord, so we're trying to support her and help her grow in her business. So follow her, number 1 on Instagram. 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I leave that in the link. And as well, 3, share this YouTube channel on Facebook. And then 4, comment below. Done. that's how you can enter into our giveaway. And as well, with the giveaway, we have this, oops, upside down, $25 Amazon gift card to go with the earrings that Shop Olive Eden is giving. Can't wait to see who's the winner, and that will be posted December 1st.
Thanks for watching this video, everybody.